Welcome back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. My name's Steve Johnson, co-host Aurelio Martinez. Here we are, Aurelio, segment number 3. This is all you guys get till next week. But anyway, this is going to turn out to be I think it's going to be one of our favorite segments that we do periodically. But this one here, it's focusing on the InsideBoxing.com's Destructive Dozen. This was the brainchild of Black Bull at Inside Boxing, it's a compilation of opinions from all of our writers here.
Yep.
And it's 12 of the top up-and-coming boxers across the country that we have compiled this list of. Aurelio?
That's right. You know, it started, we're a year in to this list, okay? And the way it worked is we took up-and-coming boxers that are coming new on the scene, and this all revolves around U.S. boxers, American boxers, having to take a back seat to everyone else, the non-exposure. So we wanted to grab a dozen of boxers across the country that are highly talented, and we wanted to give them the exposure because they truly are cream of the crop, and we want to follow their careers. So we're a year in, and we want to talk about that Destructive Dozen list, and we'll go through them, and we'll talk about each individual one and see where they're at and if they're living up to the task. So Steve, let's go ahead and take our list, and you want to read the list off real quick, and then we'll go back and
Well, first of all, let me mention that anytime you compile a list, there's going to be some of you out there going to say, what about Jim Jones? What about Mike Smith? All of that crap. We understand that, okay? This is
only a dozen.
That's right. This is just a dozen. And this list will change periodically.
And it already has.
Yeah.
After the first year, there was a couple that didn't live up to the task, and they were replaced.
And
they dropped off,
and
they were replaced.
And that will continue on. Just let me tell you our list right off the bat. We have Steven Nelson from Omaha, Nebraska. We have Misael Lopez from Denver, Colorado. Joey Alday Jr. from Odessa, Texas. Mike Reed from Waldorf, Maryland. Rashard Hicks from Quincy, Florida, Rashard actually works out of Killeen, Texas.
Okay.
General Gomez from San Diego, California. Tyler McCreary from Toledo, Ohio. Sonny Fredrickson from Toledo, Ohio. Our boy, Henry Allen III. Okay, and Henry Allen fights out of Wilson, Louisiana. Ignacio Chariz from Salt Lake City, Utah. Marquise Moore from Colorado Springs, Colorado. And we end up just making the list for 2017, Michael Dutchover from Midland, Texas. And that's our Destructive Dozen. Aurelio, let's talk about a little bit of a background on each one of the fighters why we felt that they made the Destructive Dozen.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to start? We can start just on the list. You can start with Steven Nelson if you like.
I'll start with Steven Nelson. Fortunate for me, I know a little bit about Steven Nelson because actually I profiled him when he was still an amateur trying to make the 2016 U.S. Olympic team. Steven Nelson now fights at light heavyweight. Tremendous talent. I think his record now, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's 5-0 with 4 KOs. Something complimentary to that. But
6-0.
6-0. Okay, but Steven Nelson, tremendous talent. He fights out of Omaha with the BOMAC, the B&B Promotions.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
A rising star. You're going to hear that name a lot. There's no question. He's got knockout power in both hands. Steven Nelson.
Good. You know what I like about Steven Nelson is 3 of his last 4 opponents all had winning records.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not a pick and choose situation.
Oh, BOMAC's not giving him.
So this is some of the criteria that we look for when we started picking. Who's stepping up to the plate? Who's showing the skills and the talent to be what it is? That's Steven Nelson.
And let me say this real quick, and I'll let you move on. But Army veteran, okay, served his country, making a move now in the pro ranks. There's a lot to like about Steven Nelson.
You bet. Okay, but you want me to pick up
the
next one?
I'll get Misael Lopez. Go ahead.
Yeah, Misael Lopez. Outstanding boxer here in Denver, Colorado. Actually, he's taken the state by storm. Actually, he's become the pride of Colorado because of the promise. He's been very busy. Misael stands at 6-0, and there again, he has not taken any letdown fights, any easy fights, and anything. He's always been in a 50-50 fight, or he's actually been the underdog. You know, where people were saying no, he's stepping up too much, and this kid keeps moving on. Like I say, he made his television debut in his last fight last week. He fought on Altitude TV. It's a regional. It's a Rocky Mountain regional television.
Lance Williams
Against Lance Williams. Okay, so this kid, the same thing. He's promising. He's got style. He's got defensive skills. So he's also someone to look for. So remember that name, Misael Lopez, turned pro just a year ago. In May 21st of 2016, he turned pro. Already he's 6-0.
Are you a little bit biased about this Misael Lopez
I
kid?
sure am.
Okay.
I train and manage him, but I'm not saying that just because it's me.
No, you're not.
I've had a champion before, Donald Camarena, 4 WBC titles.
No, that was just being funny. But everyone in Colorado knows about Misael. The third name that we have here is Joey Alday Jr. from Odessa, Texas. Radio.
You know, Joey's one of them fighters. Same thing on the list. He's from Texas. I've had the opportunity to see him on the amateur scene in the Olympic trials, and this kid, he's a tall kid. Again, Joey stands at 4-0. He's got a fight coming. He's very busy. He's tall. He's got talent. He's got power in both hands, and he's well loved in Texas. And I think soon enough, people across the country are going to be able to see and know who Joey Alday is.
Okay, next up we have Mike. Oh man, yes indeed. That's Mike. Yes indeed, Reed, my boy from Waldorf, Maryland. Mike Reed. What is his record now, Radio?
Mike Reed is. Give me a minute.
I think he's 22-0. I'm not mistaken. 21 or 22-0. But anyway, Mike Reed is once again another kid that I had the opportunity to profile when he was still an amateur. Mike, tremendous talent. Now he's
22-0.
22-0. Now he's connected. I think he's got 18 KOs, something like. I mean, 20 KOs.
He's awesome. Yep.
But he's connected with Top Rank, and they're bringing him along the right way. You know, Mike Reed is going to be a future world champion, no doubt about that. Thunder in both hands, tremendous amateur pedigree. The name Mike, yes indeed, Reed. All right, Radio. Next up, Richard Hicks, who fights out of. I'll take Richard.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because, I know a little bit about Richard. You know, he's a protege of my good friend Jesse out of Killeen, Texas. Jesse Ravello, former Olympic coach. He was a coach on the 2012 Olympic team. Really good man, but Richard Hicks, he's in a little bit of a bind because Richard can't find fights in Texas. It's amazing how he can't find fights in Texas.
He's 8-0. He's 8-0, undefeated.
I don't know what the politics are behind it, but the clock is ticking for Richard, and he and Jesse Ravello both know this. So he's looking to find fights, but man, what a talent. Okay,
I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna love it. He turned pro on July 5th, 2013.
Okay.
So you can see these are all new to the scene as far as professional boxers, but man, these guys are all exciting fighters. They're going about it.
You know, Richard's another kid that the clock is ticking on him.
Yep.
You know, he's got to get some fights because he's older. He's got to get some fights. The next guy up, Genaro Gomez, Radio, out of San Diego, California.
Now, Genaro Gomez, another excellent talent, went through the amateur scene here in the United States and did good, and he turned pro in spite of the USA Boxing, because he really had his heart set on going and representing the United States in the Olympics. Okay, but he was in that weight class, 132 weight class, where he was not even given the opportunity to compete in the Olympic trials because AIBA, USA Boxing, however that
It was the
mess works,
WSB.
picked the 132 division for the Olympics.
They had that slotted already.
And it was already slotted, so he was out. Regardless, he was out. There was no ifs, ands, or but. They already picked it, and I think they picked. His name escapes me, but he was a USBA fighter, and that's a 10-second clicker. But we're going to finish this list.
I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember, but anyhow, he was picked. So Genaro, he went ahead He's trained by his dad, Luis, and they decided, hey, we're going pro. They got the opportunity of being signed with Golden Boy, so they're on with a good promoter. He has a fight coming up next, coming up here soon. So he's another one that we want to look out for, because this guy is truly an Olympian. Okay.
Okay. All right. Radio up next. Tyler McCreary from Toledo, Ohio.
Tyler McCleary. Okay. Another outstanding fighter. He's 13-0. 13-0, and just along with the same format of this whole list. He's taking all comers on. He's fighting. He's being outstanding in his wins. He's looking great. He's part of this entire group of upcoming boxers that really are making a statement in boxing. And this is something for all boxing fans in the United States to get excited. This entire list. Look for him. Tyler McCreary. He's from Toledo, Ohio. He fights in the featherweight division, and he turned pro back in August of 2014.
Okay, Sonny Fredrickson, also from Toledo, Ohio.
Exactly. Fredrickson has been active. He's fought 3 times since he got on this list last year, so he's been very active. He's 16-0, and his team has done an excellent job keeping him on track. I mean, he's a tall kid. Okay, he's a tall kid at 6'2", and he fights at 140 pounds. He fights at that super lightweight. So. People got to watch this guy. He's tall, and he knows how to box, and he knows how to use his height. So, someone we definitely want to keep an eye on.
Okay, next up we have Henry Allen II. Henry is a favorite of ours. We both know him very well. His dad, Kevin Allen, is his coach, his trainer, his dad. This is one of the few instances where you see where the father-son action works.
It's starting to work.
Okay, it's starting to work. Henry is out having problems, the same as all these other guys, getting fights. Because, you know, like a radio talked about earlier, this pick and choose attitude about who you're going to fight. But Henry Allen, highly decorated amateur, many-time national champion, he's got it all. Pure boxer. I mean, and his attitude is that he's going to embarrass his opponent outboxing him. So he's a guy that you definitely want to see. He's got moves.
He's 4-0 now.
Yep.
He may have had a fight since, so he may be 5-0, but he's on that track, undefeated track, and like I said, you'll like it. He's got moves. He's swift. He's elusive. Something we like to see here in the United States.
There you go. What weight division is Henry?
Henry fights in the.
Feather?
No, he's. I'll tell you right now. Here, to give me a minute. Well, it doesn't say, but we know Henry. I think he fights in the 135 pound division.
So he'd be a lightweight.
So he'd be a lightweight. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Next up, we have Ignacio Chariz from Salt Lake City, Utah. Radio.
Okay. You know, Ignacio's. You know, you think about Salt Lake City, and you just don't think about world champions coming out of here. But let me tell you something about Ignacio Chariz. This guy, another outstanding amateur. Fought in all the tournaments, Golden Gloves. Even came down to Colorado, participated in Colorado amateur tournaments. Outstanding kid. Fights in the lightweight division, 135. Started just the way he left off in the amateurs. Started with 4-0 with 4 knockouts, which was good for him. It was a problem because now nobody would fight him. You know, he's had a couple of fights since. So he's back on track. Look for Ignacio. This outstanding young kid from Salt Lake City is doing everything he does to make his inroads. He's got 2 brothers that also box. They're still in the amateur scene, but you know what I like about Ignacio is he's always said, "Hey, I'm going through this now so that my brothers don't have to."
Got you.
Okay, so
He's providing for his family.
Yeah, look for him.
Okay, next up we have Marquise Moore from Colorado Springs. Marquise Moore is another guy. I think Marquise, if I'm not mistaken, he fights middleweight. Take a look for me. But Marquise Moore is another guy that comes from the Army background. Marquise was also part of the WSB, the World Series of Boxing. A real shock to most everyone in the country that he didn't make the 2016 Olympic team. I think there might have been some politics involved in it, but regardless, he didn't make the team. But outstanding fighter, I think at one point, Golden Boy looked at him. The Money Team, Floyd Mayweather, they looked at him. Top Rank looked at him. I don't think he signed with anyone yet, but Marquise Moore is definitely a power puncher, a one punch knockout kind of guy that has to be dealt with. What's his record right now? Do you know?
Marquis stands at 5-0.
Okay, Marquise Moore is definitely a guy that has, and I think he fights middleweight.
Yeah, he's middleweight.
Okay.
Middleweight. He's 5-0, and he's a highly decorated amateur. He fought for
Most
that
definitely.
WCAP.
And the WSB.
He fought for the WCAP here in the Army
Colorado.
team in Colorado. So look for this kid, man. Look for these guys making a move. Like I say, this list here is something you wanna.
Our last guy on the Destructive Dozen for 2017, a newcomer to the list, Michael Dutchover. Michael is from Midland, Texas. I know Michael again well. He and his dad Jerry, good friends. Highly decorated amateur, talented. Boxer, puncher. This is another kid that you can't sleep on. You will hear about him.
Kid's 19 years old, and I'll tell you what, he's 4-0, and got a fight coming up. He's another one of these kids that anyone on this list, you want to just watch them. If you have the opportunity to watch them, whether you have to go to YouTube or wherever, you want to watch these kids. These guys have everything going for them as far as talent and skills to make it big in this game. Dutchover, he is from Midland, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He fights out of Santa Fe Springs, California.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's where he trains out of.
Yeah.
Okay, but these are kids that, and I shouldn't say kids, but these are
they're kids.
new pros
Kids
that
to us.
are something for the boxing fans to get excited over.
Now, like I said in the beginning, there's a few names I know people are saying, where's Damian Vasquez? Where's Donovan Estrella? There's different names that, like I said, that could be on the list. But in our opinion, all of us, after compiling everything, the ones that aren't on the list is because they haven't been as active as these other guys.
Yep.
And that's really what it comes down to. You have to be active. You got to keep it going so that everyone keeps talking about you. The two names I mentioned, those guys that we know Donovan had a fight earlier.
Yep.
That he was dominating. I think he stopped his guy
Well,
in
see,
one or two rounds.
Donovan was on this list originally.
Yeah, in the original list.
But the inactivity, because he hadn't fought in a year,
dropped
him off. So it doesn't mean he won't come back on the list. It's just now dropped him off. So
and you know what? For all of you guys, if you have names that you have somebody that you say, hey, take a look at him, editor at InsideBoxing.com. Drop us a note. Give us the guy's name, and we'll check him out and see if he's worthy of knocking one of these other guys off. But every one of these fighters we gave you, they're all undefeated, and every one of them is bringing something to the table, which makes it, once again, exciting for the free TV, because there's an opportunity for any one of these guys, or all of them, to at one point be on a televised boxing program.
you guys can read a little more about the Destructive Dozen online. Go to InsideBoxing.com.
Yes.
And you can search on there if you want this story. The title is American Boxers on the Rise, and you'll find part 1 and part 2. So take time to read it. It'll give you a little more background on each of these fighters and why we as fighters collaborated to put this list together. So we'll be following them.
Wait a minute, you said why we as fighters collaborated. I'm no longer fighting. Now, did you come out of retirement? No, you didn't. We as writers, not fighters. Check this man. We as writers came and decided to make this list. But radio, on a serious note, no, it's a real good list. I think everyone will say it is a good list. All these fighters, especially you guys, keep doing what you do. Hang in there. It's going to happen for you. We'll update the list as time goes on.
That's it.
Okay?
So take a look and see at the articles. And until next week, when we come back and bring you some more featured content.
You know why we do that? Because we're often imitated but never duplicated. InsideBoxing.com's Throwdown.
Until next week.